Time
Screamo
takes.
SEO, don't worry.
Okay, we're live. We're live. Finally, we gotten up together with Charles, Jill, and Jamie. So welcome everyone to Odys Talks Edition 4. Yeah, wow. This is actually it's been an entire month of doing these live streams, and every single edition was spectacular from my point of view in terms of the participants, in terms of the topics discussed, in terms of the fun we get to have in these live streams. And today, it just so happened that we're joined by Jill Karen, who is our certified Odys mentor, among other things. I'll let her do her own introduction in a second. Charles Float, and uh, infamous, famous SEO superstar these days, who's also one of our experts, who's been providing expert picks for months, as well as Jamie, who's an affiliate marketing expert and who's also an expert providing expert picks for Odys. So yeah, we're finally live. Just a moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Ladies.
So, oops. So I'll let you guys go on and introduce yourself in just a couple of words for those who might not know you. I don't know, maybe someone has been living under a log or something. So go on, whoever
I'll
wants.
go first. I'm Jill Karen. I've been since about 2006 when I hired my first SEO person and website developer, and they butchered everything. I decided to do it myself, and I've been doing it ever since. So my experience runs from doing enterprise level SEO for big corporations to running affiliate sites. I've bought and sold probably 30 or 40 sites over the last 15, 16 years. I am not one to take it to the six figures. I like to build them and monetize them for a few months and get them off my plate because I get bored easily. So I joined with Odys recently. I've been a customer in the past. I actually really love their domains and I highly recommend them for a variety of things. So I am thrilled that I'm one of the mentors on their new program. So if you need help with anything with age domains, from 301 redirects to building sites, I'm here to help. And I'm excited to be here with Charles and Jamie, so it should be a good show.
Yeah, absolutely. Go on, Charles. Don't be shy.
Okay. Yeah, I'm Charles Float. Similarly to Jill, I got involved into SEO because my family got burnt by another agency and stuff. For I think in total it's close to like $100,000 or something ridiculous. When we were just starting out in our business as well, so we had like 2 employees or something. So that really kicked me up the arse to get started at a very young age. I was like 12 or 13 when my mom kind of asked me to look at the SEO because we were in a pretty dire situation with the marketing. And then that's kind of been my path ever since. I had like a 17% attendance record at school because I was at home building niche websites and buying domain names and stuff, right? So yeah, but it's worked out in the end, and I've kind of grown to be one of the most recognized people in SEO. Love me, hate me, I like to call my brand like Marmite, because some people love it, some people hate it, but it works, right, at the end of the day, so there you go.
Yeah,
One less person.
I'm Jamie. I got into SEO when I was doing my internship in Paris, because you can do like a 4-year degree where like you spend the third one away. And like they sort of similarly, they didn't get burnt, but they just didn't, like, there was such an opportunity there where they had this high DR site that was publishing news, and I just happened to come across like with the opportunities there for like what they could have done ranking for stuff. Was kind of disappointed that they didn't really want to adopt it and like do much with it, and wanted to try it myself, and started up sites when I graduated. So started like 4 years ago, and now just like mostly affiliate, running sites and trying to grow them, and that's about it.
That's cool. So you're here. We're finally here talking and discussing. Oh, well, we're gonna discuss stuff. So yeah, welcome. a couple of sound effects, not to distract with a lot of production. So yeah, if everyone who's out there listening, first of all, like this video, share it, and don't be shy of commenting and asking questions if you have them right now or along the way. And yeah, if you're interested in getting on the show, just send a message to podcast@odys.global and we'll discuss it. We're happy to have great people, great SEO, affiliate marketer, domain pros, and yeah, that's about it. Also, one important thing before we switch to the most pressing topics of this edition. Yesterday, Odys Global launched its new platform. Finally, I'm just going to show it to everyone right now. Just a quick showcase. Yeah, here it is. So it's changed quite drastically. The design, the UI, the UX, everything is much smoother, and you can see some of the most important metrics right away while hovering over a particular domain. More than that, we've updated our expert picks feature. So right now you don't have to go to a separate page, which we still have. I'll get to it in a moment. You can see the recommendations for the domain right on its page. So here, for example, is a domain recommended by Charles, and you can see his recommendations, the growth opportunities right away. So yeah, all the critical metrics, the backlink profile, at least some of it, referring domains. I apologize, and all the other stuff. You can get all the answers to the simplest questions, I guess, about the domain on its page, and you can always get in touch with us and either schedule a strategy call or contact the support right here. Now, speaking of the expert picks page, right now it simply provides a collection, not a collection, a list of the experts providing the recommendations. And well, you might have not known, but we have been doing it in video version for quite a while now, for 2 months, and some of the domains are available with video
Strawbill
recommendations,
Central is.
for example. So yeah, this is it. Did you guys have a chance to take a look at it yesterday, today? What's your experience with it so far?
I think it looks good. It's an improvement to have that all in just a hover away. Makes it easier to get all the key information and gives it a high quality touch to it as well.
Yeah. Charles, yourself.
I like that you recommended I like that you put the expert tips inside of the overview now instead of having the previous one there. Right, it makes it a lot better because I actually whenever I did a lot of the domain rewrites, I would give ideas that were kind of counter to what a lot of the descriptions were. So I kind of like having my input and stuff right there. So it's a lot better in terms of the design and stuff. I actually saw it before you guys announced it. I think I was scrolling on the other day. And then literally it kind of updated, I think. I was like, why is it down? And then suddenly this new design happened, and I was like, am I on the right website? But this looks really cool,
Jill?
No, same. I actually had not seen the videos. I've always looked through the expert picks to see what's up, but I had not seen the videos. So really cool addition. I like that one a lot.
Yeah, that's cool. So yeah, everyone listening and watching, take your time and go through the new platform. Leave us your feedback. You can do it right now live in the chat, or just reach out to our support if you notice something that you think could be improved, or if you don't find something that you've been looking for. So yeah, I see that some people are saying that sound levels are drastically different. I've already made my mic a little quieter, so let us know if it's better right now. I apologize for that.
I'm
Yeah, I
just
feel
Just
like
naturally
you're
that.
loud
yelling.
anyway, so.
Let us know
Just
if it's
that.
still happening. I adjusted my sound settings. I'm not sure if it's better or worse.
Well, I have all the levels in the studio. It's just that in one of the editions, I think it was the second one, my audio levels were very, very low, so I decided to boost them up last time, and it was really loud on my end. I made it a little quieter this time, but people are still saying that it's too loud. Well, let's see how it turns out in the end. So yeah, now speaking of Parasite SEO, you Charles have been talking about it for quite a while in the last, quite a lot in the last few months. I think 3, 4 months. It's been all over the place in your Twitter, I guess. So could you just brief us on why do you think it has such a great potential, and how how you how you put it to use in your own way?
Yeah, so I actually first started using and learning about Parasite SEO in 2009 by Eli from Blue Hat SEO, right? He was like, back in the day, Blue Hat SEO was the blog. Like, that shit was awesome. Like, honestly, it was like one of the him. I think Eli and C Carter from Wicked Fire. Those are the two guys early on who I just read and read and read every single thing they put out. And I really became obsessed with Eli's kind of idea of this whole Parasite page hosting. Hosting pages on Parasite pages, especially considering he saw how Google's algorithm, and bear in mind, he saw this in 2003 or like 2006 and stuff, right? And we're talking about it now. So this is
Yeah,
just wild, right? But he saw then that Google's algorithm was moving more towards authority-based, right? So that it was just more and more based on whoever had essentially the most authority in the SERPs. And he realized that there was no way that he could possibly compete with some of these, DR95 sites that would just automatically rank because of the authority that they had. So why not just use them to rank instead, right? So that's where the whole idea was, that you utilize other pages that you can either buy pages on, or originally it wasn't even buying pages, it was mostly Web 2.0s and things like that, where you just build a free page on a site. Back in the day, it was, like WordPress subdomain blogs, BuzzFeed pages. Strikingly, it was like my one that I used to make a lot of money from. There's a lot of different pages over the years that kind of came in and out of the trend, right? But it has always progressed to the point where I think it's actually at like an all-time high right now. It's kind of bizarre, right? That SEO kind of Parasite SEO anyway, sorry, kind of went up and then down and up, and then now it's just gone up and up and up and up every single algorithm update for the last several years. And that is generally, I think, again, because Google's just favoring authority so much, and that they just put these trust signals into these sites that you can't really replicate easily on other websites, because they have all these legitimate business, kind of real life business trust signals. So it ends up with some SERPs now, literally the entire top 10 results are Parasite pages, like literally the entire top 10 results. If you go and put like buy Kratom pills or something into Google right now, the entire top 20 is Parasite pages, right? Not even the entire top 10, the entire top 20. So it's gotten to a point where people have realized, why would you want to go and spend all this time and money and effort and stuff building out these crazy big assets and websites and things, when you can just go and pay Orlando Magazine $250 to post it for you, right, and rank day one rather than ranking day 100 or something. I do, however, see some kind of limitations around some industries and niches. For example, there's definitely some topics that Google want expertise on, and definitely some queries around like YMYL and stuff like that, where it is slightly coming down. I've actually one that's weird enough is like firearms and things is like one that is a lot of parasites have just been getting tanked. A lot of them have just been like tanking off the face of the earth, and it's all these niche sites that have been coming up around like guns and not even just firearms immediately think of guns, right? But in the UK, we think of things like paintball guns, stuff like that, right? That's the kind of stuff that most of the time I'm talking about anyway. Is what has been happening? Is like a lot of these SERPs have been kind of getting parasites removed recently, but I think it's more that Google just doesn't fully trust, like a random newspaper to be covering, the best firearm or something, right? They want an actual niche expert that has some kind of authoritativeness and stuff. But that being said, for more generic terms and for like really big queries and things, it's just been taking over. Like it's absolutely insane. Like some of the SERPs, I know a lot of authority site owners, a lot of affiliate site owners have been contacting me for like consultations and things, and like, how do I beat this fucking page on this random Indian newspaper, for God's sake, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. So it's progressed to the point now where I think it's, like I said, at an all-time high. And then I don't know if it can peak any further than this, but it's a great time to kind of utilize it if you can. And it's also kind of a lot of the publishers are starting to realize what's happening now. So a lot of the publishers, if you actually contact them, they'll have in their terms and conditions that you're not allowed to build any backlinks at the page and stuff like that and things, right? And they actually add all these terms and conditions on to the what's it called, to the order, because they know that SEOs have just been abusing it and like spamming a million links and stuff at these pages and something, ruining their authority and things, right? So yeah, I think it's an interesting watch, and it has been for like several years. And it's weird that Google seems to just not care enough to do anything about it, or just maybe favors them too much or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it seems that the SEO community is a bit polarized around this topic, because I've heard like various opinions, including the recent affiliate gathering event in New York, and someone in the recent streams, well, yeah, I think maybe it was the last week or the week before that, someone like negatively mentioned Parasite SEO. What do you think is that?
Well, look, I get it, right? I get that people can spend 10 years building a blog, out to some level of degree that no one else has put that much effort and that much expertise and knowledge out on the internet, and then some fucking like random newspaper or like magazine comes and outranks all of your work, right? That is frustrating. But I also think that as an SEO, right, if you can utilize anything, then you should be utilizing it, right? Like you can't complain about something that you have access to as well, right? It's essentially a fair market when you can go and buy these links and stuff, and you can go and buy these posts yourself. And theoretically, you could always do that to kind of bolster your own pages, right? Maybe you have got number one positions, but it would be really nice if you could use those parasites to get number 2, number 3, number 4 right as well. And you should kind of probably be looking at it from that angle, because it's not going away. So you might as well just embrace the situation that you're in, and embrace the situation that you could potentially finance from, rather than complaining about it,
Yeah, Jill and Jamie, are you the Parasite SEO adepts?
No, I am not into the Parasite SEO. I unfortunately, and this is probably why I'm not making millions with my sites, because I am clean cut. I go for the straight and narrow. I'm not a risk taker with my sites. I do have some sites that I use as play sites that I can test theories and things, but I've never gotten into the Parasite SEO. I'm more into digital PR campaigns and just straight up, guest posting in niche related avenues. I try not to piss Google off.
Yeah, I'm not actively going and doing these things, but not because I disagree. Like, if there's that much wrong, that it's such an obvious thing that we can all see all over, and it's not being fixed, then you make your money. And I'd rather show that there was a big issue that if I wanted to do that, I would have. It's just from how it is, you got to spend money, you make money, rather than building an asset. And I've always just wanted to build things that just if I spend 10K a month on content, I build something that I can then go and sell for $1 million. That is much more interesting from an ROI asset thing, because you might be able to sell a page on someone else's site, but it doesn't really have the same marketplace. And so when I see these things as an investor, it's never appeal to me as much. But like,
Yeah,
you
and
make
that's
money,
my
I
thing
don't
because
care.
I flip pretty quickly. So that's always in the back of my head when they start seeing those things. Is that something that's going to deter them? And I think with the market change happening right now, that's even going to be more of an issue. I think it's a necessary thing for the tough, like kratom or CBD or things like that. I think you have to go that route. You have to take those risks. But for the more niche industries that are less competitive, I'm just not a fan.
Also, going back to your point on like the hate around it and stuff, the most of the people that I've seen hating on it are people that are affected by it, right? The only people that I've really seen hating on it aside from that are like this kind of altruistic people who are like, why is Google kind of favoring the corporations over the little man? And I'm just like, well, because they're a corporation, well, welcome to the real world. This is what obviously they're going to do this. Like, this is, late stage capitalism. Welcome to reality. Like, I don't know. It's kind of, I always think of it from that situation of if Google's willing to do whatever the kind of fuck they want to do, why don't we just be willing to do whatever the fuck we want to do, kind of thing, right? If it's a fair market and you're playing by the rules and you're playing fairly and you're not doing anything, breaking the rules illegally or whatever, even though they themselves, a lot of the corporations are doing illegal things, right? So maybe it isn't an entirely fair game, but still, right? If it kind of plays into that level, then it is an open fair market, and you can't really complain about it from that kind of a point of view, which is the majority of complaints that I've been seeing about it anyway.
Yeah, the affiliate's cool. I guess this is Jason Jason Mills writing in the YouTube chat. He says there is no quicker way to rank than utilizing Parasite SEO. So I guess this just proves your point, Charles.
Yeah.
Jamie, have you been previously actively using Parasite SEO for affiliate marketing projects or?
I've never put a page on like another high DR site, but like the only other ways that I guess is connected anyway is like we've like when we've like found like lucrative stuff, we've wanted to like set up sites in like the same niche and just try and like win out 1, 2, 3 in the spots and like capitalize on what we know makes money. But it's like our own like Parasite version of the same site rather than like going on to a different like high DR site instead.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I also think that with this whole generative AI experience, that it's kind of forcing you into doing it, right? Because if you imagine that right now you're number one for this keyword, but it's going to be a summary of the SERP, right? Of the summary of the top 3, top 5, top 10. So you kind of want to create those Parasite pages that it reinforces your own take on it so that the consensus is the same consensus that it has right now, which is you being number one in the future as it is, with all these parasites essentially. So I actually think that this whole kind of summarization based on trusted sources, which is what Google's doing, is playing into the Parasite players even more, right? So, yeah.
That's really clever. I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah, it's funny that you brought up the generative search because, well, once again, there are different opinions out there, right? Some are excited about it, some are concerned, some are literally panicking. And I've read something like something about the affiliate commissions dropping because of this, and what was it? I don't remember. Some other thing also affected. So, Jamie, you holding a 7-figure portfolio of multiple affiliate sites, has it already affected you in a way or not?
Well, it's not really about yet, and I'm hoping like yeah, I think it's gonna be bad. Depends on if it's toggled on by default, like, and no one really knows and is qualified to know like percentage what we're gonna lose yet. But um, it's good. Like in that, like I was surprised it was able to segment and go like best for beginners, best for like XYZ use in the generative stuff, which was more impressive than I was expecting it to be. I'll be honest. And especially for lower ticket stuff, I could imagine it being hit badly. I don't see high ticket where you trust a person and you need a review. Like, I'm not going to buy, let's say, like an authority hacker course based off what is summarized somewhere. I want to know about people that have got value out of it. They've managed to make a job replacement income from something like this before I pull the trigger on what is for most people a lot of money. Haven't seen any effects yet. In the same way that like so many people use ChatGPT, but I haven't seen keyword volumes dropping, even though for a lot of keywords it is a better answer than Google already. Um, so we'll see what happens. If it's by default toggled off, I don't think habits are easy to overturn. I don't think a lot of people turn it on. If it's by default on, I think if it's a bad product and isn't ready, a lot of people turn it off. But that's cope, isn't it? Really, we'll see how bad it is.
What about you, Jill? Same question.
I haven't been impressed yet, so I'm finding the results to be really bad. So, I'm not totally convinced it's going to be the downfall that people think for affiliate marketing. I just think that human touch and the human element in the content is really going to be a huge, huge factor. And everything I've seen has just been nothing but negative. So I'm hoping it just goes away. I'm just really hoping it goes away.
Well, apparently it won't. It will just everyone will have to adapt with whatever comes up
Yeah,
with
it's
the
going to be
progress.
interesting what happens with the links. The fact that there's no links in anything is disconcerting. We've got this whole thing that takes forever to load, and then there's no links in it crediting anyone, which is a huge frustration. And I think Lily Ray actually noted that there was it was almost verbatim from a website. There was no AI. It was just, we're going to take it from this website and put it in here with no accreditation. So it's
Yeah.
going to be interesting. It's an interesting conversation. I'm not freaking out yet. So we'll see what happens.
It'll be fast when it launches, though. Like I don't think we should count on it being slow forever. Like
Yeah.
that's like
Yeah,
that's
that
not a
load
barrier,
time.
like for long.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Jonathan Rice from the comment section on YouTube, from the chat section on YouTube. Jamie is on his loudest, so I guess you'll just have to bear with us. So yeah, getting back to the topic, Charles, you wanted to comment on it?
Yeah, so I with SGE, I think from Google's angle, it's kind of a versus thing for me. So it's basically their ability to monetize it versus their ability versus their ability to be liable for it, right? So essentially, if you imagine right now that Google defines itself as it isn't a publisher, and it has fought this tooth and nail for the last 20, 30 years, that it isn't a publisher, that feature snippets are not publications, right? But based on the current interpretations of laws and things, if you're publishing AI generative content, the publishing onus is on you now, right? So it's no longer the case that they can have third-party liability. It would be the case that it's now on Google. So if you imagine that, and also this is the other side of things, right? There's some really creative and very powerful people on the internet that have nothing to do with their time, right? And they will 100% find ways to troll this and find ways to put things in it where it will tell you that you should be like drinking bleach or like doing really stupid things that 100% this will happen, right? Like I just know that for a fact. And when that happens, then the liability is on Google, and I think that will be a very big wake-up call when they have a $20 billion lawsuit at their hands when some kid Googled something and it told them to drink bleach, you know what I mean? So I have that kind of angle of versus how are they going to monetize it, and if that monetization level will pay off versus the liability level, which right now I don't think it is. And also the fact of this whole speed thing, right? The speed thing is literally just processing power, how much processing power it has. And if it's this slow in beta right now, then the processing power it's going to require once it's live is going to be gigantic. Like it's going to be absolutely insane. So they need to be able to make the language model that it's currently running on. I know that it's running, they did in their announcement that it has 4 or 5 different language models that the entire Google environment is running on, right? The top level is Unicorn or something that isn't out yet. And then like at the bottom is the current one that this is running on. And that's why you're seeing a lot of bad results and things, because it's like the lowest level language model that it has the ability to run on, because that's why they're trying to make it as cheap as possible, as efficient as possible, right? But if it's the smallest language model that they have and they're running in beta and it's taking 8 seconds on average to load, then that is a very bad sign for its current future, right? But Nvidia had just another announcement that they made was that in the last 5 years they've been able to improve processing power by 10,000% or something, which is absolutely insane. Like completely throwing Moore's law out the window and that kind of stuff. And if you do the calculations, in the next 10 years, they'll be growing at a rate of 10 million% or something ridiculous at the current exponential rate they're going at, right? Because of AI improvements to their processing power. So when that comes out, right, and when Google has the commercial processing power of all this new technology and stuff like that, that's when I think that stuff is going to be a real game changer, right? Because the current infrastructure that Google has, whilst it is immensely impressive, I don't think it's up for the job of what they're wanting to achieve with the current beta of this environment. So I think that they're going to have to do massive infrastructure upgrades, and that's going to cost billions of dollars, if not tens of billions of dollars, to be able to achieve it. But again, I think they'll probably make that investment because they have to versus OpenAI and Microsoft. So we'll see, but I think that we've got a couple years before it's a real pain in the ass. But it will become a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I totally agree with Charles. And the one other thing I wanted to bring up, one of the searches, like I have an e-commerce client, and it's like if you type in a branded search, like say REI hiking boots, it'll give you, this pissed me off. This just blatantly pissed me off. And I think all these retailers and these manufacturers need to start lawsuits, because what happens, it took me to a page, it told me REI sells hiking boots, this, that, and the other thing in the AI generated part. And then below that in the products, it didn't show me REI. It showed me Timberland. It showed me like other brands, and it was taking me to other stores, not REI. So if I'm doing a specific search term for REI, that's where I want to go. And it's giving me competitor content, which was infuriating as an e-commerce. I have a client who's now really concerned about this. And then in the, the additional post that you get to the right, it was posts from like 2020 and 2019. So, I mean, we're so not ready with this. It's not even funny. And it's, again, going to what Charles said, it's like so much bad information is making it in right now. And God, I hope that changes, because it's terrifying. It's really terrifying.
Yeah.
Jill, you being an SEO consultant, being obviously an SEO specialist, you become an Odys mentor as well. Did any questions like this, related to generative search and basically AI in the site building area, let's say, arise in your conversations during the site building consultations? Every day.
Yeah, it's very terrifying out there for business owners. They're scared. They all want to jump on the AI bandwagon, which I'm trying to get them to not. Like, I have one client who's in the healthcare industry, and he came to me last week and said, why don't we just use AI for the content? I'm like, how about we don't? So, it's trying to get them to understand the voice, the tone, the personal experience. AI is not going to draw all that in. So it's a constant frustrating education right now of why, I don't recommend AI, why we need to do different tactics. I'm going all in on my own sites moving forward, and I'm focusing on a little bit less SEO, actually. I'm focusing on YouTube, I'm focusing on Pinterest, I'm focusing on LinkedIn for one of my sites. Holistically, I think we need to remind people that there's more than Google out there these days, and people are consuming things differently. And I think that's the challenge with these clients is, getting them to wrap their head around, okay, well, how can I be on TikTok or YouTube when, I'm a medical, and coming up with those creative ways to differentiate yourself. But yes, it's been very frustrating the last few months. Very. Getting ready for SGE it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. And unfortunately, right now with SGE, it's not there yet. It's not finalized. We don't know what that final iteration is going to look like. So we can't even really guide them right now. We can make suggestions and start opening those conversations. But because we don't know where it'll be in October or November, it could be a whole different interface. There's not much we can do right now. So the waiting game sucks. And it does for clients because they want more results, and we can only do so much right now. So it's tough.
I think something that you said earlier is actually really interesting about how you said that it didn't change the text in the snippet at all in the SGE. I think that's I was sorry, I was just thinking about that for like the last 10 minutes, and I had it in the back of my brain. I think that's because it's the underlying technology is it's a text transformer, and that it means that it's trying to calculate the best of variant of the next word that's coming. And if you've literally wrote the best possible variant for that query,
That's a good point.
then it's not going to be able to rewrite it, right? It's because it's going to think that that is the correct order of what the words should be in, and so that will theoretically, if you are a god tier at copywriting, then you're going to be able to get the exact snippet every single time and give Google the exact consensus that it wants in the query. So I think that's going to be something that's quite interesting in the future, is trying to write for the exact thing that Google is wanting, and like the whole word positioning thing and stuff like that that plays into it as well.
But then that makes it more terrifying because all right, so you've got that content on your site, they're still using it and you get no credit for it. So.
And I feel horrible for the guy that has to go and study sentences for hours and hours and hours and try and get the correct word order and things like that in a sentence.
Well, it's funny,
Like,
Corey Guberk's SEO course, I'm actually in that, and
yeah.
I've been doing this for so long. And it's like, not that I think I know everything. We're learning every day. Every day something's different. But he put in some things about predicates and things. I'm like, first of all, it's like a foreign language, but I was like mind blown. So I'm like, I never realized that just inverting words can have such an impact from an SEO perspective. So I'm like, wow. And that's what I love about this industry, that it's never the same thing. We're constantly learning, which I find amazing. So someday I will actually make it through that whole course. I don't know when. But yeah, learning that portion of it is pretty mind-blowing.
Yeah. You have to kind of speak literally as well. Sorry, in terms of like how you order things, because you're speaking to a computer, that you have to actually have it literal. So I've noticed that a lot of the bloggers and stuff that I've been doing consultations with, they're very, especially British bloggers, right? They're quite sarcastic in their writing, and Google hates it. Like they really dislike it because it throws off the consensus and all the stuff and the things and stuff, and they're like, wait. Google's like, does they mean that or do they not mean that? And it's quite interesting. But I'm like, yeah, guys, you have to actually tone down like your levels of sarcasm and stuff in your writing and things, because they're taking you literally, like, yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, we literally changed, like, after starting Corey's course, it was like, okay, really, like, the way you structure these things. I was reading a thread from Tony Hill on Twitter as well about how the NLP's changed by the ordering of the sentences and stuff, to really just convey exactly what we mean. And like in so many ways we thought we were doing really good like content because it's so like enigmatic and like it's got so much character to it, but really all we're doing is making it harder to read and like scrape and stick in a snippet somewhere and get traffic from. So thank you, Corey, for telling me that as well.
Yeah, I hate admitting when I don't know something, and or like you feel like you know it all, and then somebody comes along and smacks you in the head and is like, no, you don't know it all. That course has been really good. I've actually been pretty impressed with it.
One thing I noticed all of you SEO, affiliate marketing, site building guys are saying is that doing this business, doing SEO, it's building sites, is actually puts you in a position of having to learn new things every single day, because every single day something changes. Well, not literally, but I mean figuratively speaking.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I get it that sometimes it is every single day, but in general terms, it's like it could be a period of like a week of everyday changes and then a period of not so many changes, right? But yeah, so yeah, it's really curious, and how, for example, Matt Diggity and Robert Nixiel, the two of the other top SEOs in the world these days, they're both they both came from the electrical engineering background, and so the way they approach SEO in particular is like solving algorithms. so it's not like a more mathematical approach, I'd say, which is also really curious. I don't know, how do you guys approach it from a more creative point of view, like a development web dev point of view, or engineering point of view?
3 letters, ROI. That's it. That's
the best approach.
whichever returns the highest investment possible, that's the path I'm going down. You know, like.
I'm with
my
Charles.
mindset.
That's a good one. Yeah, I don't have any engineering background. What I find interesting is how many engineers go into SEO, though. I think it's kind of mind-boggling. When I found out Matt Diggity was an SEO engineer by trade, I'm like, wow. I'm like, and he was like the first one I heard about, and then I started seeing all these other guys. So I guess there's something that connects with engineering and SEO. I am not an engineer by any strategy, but I focus really on very technical SEO. So I really dive deep into schema and, getting that on-site stuff done. I'm a big believer in schema right now. I'm seeing great results with that in tests I've been doing. So I'm very technical, but I'm starting to be more creative with my content. I'm trying to do a mix of writing for Google and the sarcasm. I'm from New Jersey. We are all about the sarcasm here, so it's really hard for me to not write sarcastically, but I do know, I need to add those elements for Google. So I'm trying to do that combination of. So I'm a mix.
So you're in just the right spot right now, alongside the two Brits.
Yeah,
Speaking of sarcasm.
I can't have that sarcastic thing. New Jersey, even my daughter, I have to tell her to tone it down sometimes because most people don't get it.
Yeah, and just go on, Charles.
Yeah, no, so I think that the whole engineering thing is really interesting, though, because I read somewhere a long time ago that something like 86 of the top 100 86 of the top 100 companies in the world, their CEOs all have engineering degrees as well. So it's actually a very big connection. Yeah, it's actually a really massive connection between engineering backgrounds and business and success. Not necessarily with corporate success. It's more so on the higher end of the scale and things. But I think from what Diggity and stuff anyway has explained to me, from his thinking side, it's obviously they get taught to think of everything in frameworks and that kind of thing. So that is very beneficial, especially when you're dealing with SEO, when most things are frameworks, SEO procedurally anyway.
Yeah, before we get to dissecting the domain I've selected for today, one more question for you, Jill. How has your Odys mentorship experience been so far?
It's been great. It's really interesting meeting, different people, and I love teaching. It's why I started my YouTube channel. I absolutely love teaching. It's my favorite thing in the world to do. If I could do that full time, I would. But being able to help people, choose the domain or figure out how to use it, it's awesome. And I'm a big believer in age domains. So I value them, and I think they're worth every penny. The few I've invested in really worked for me. So to be able to pass that on to somebody else is just really great. So I'm thrilled they let me come on. So.
Well, you're one of the chosen few, so yeah, and we are really, really glad to have you in the mentors team. So yeah, the time is running out, so let's get on with the domain. I'll just screen share it for a moment. It's dosia.org, or however the hell it's pronounced correctly. So yeah, let's see. I'm still getting used to the new interface, so I might be a little confused. So yeah, it's a 17-year-old domain, DR42, almost 250 unique referring domains, among which, let's see, are O'Reilly.com, BioMedCentral.com, Orange.com, CNET.com, and a few other domains. So, okay, let's see. Okay, so our recommendation for its growth opportunity is domain for building out and hosting an authority website focused on medical equipment and monetizing it via affiliate marketing and display ads. Okay, that's our recommendation in a nutshell. What are your perspectives on this domain? What would every single one of you do with it if you if you had it in your inventory, let's say?
All right, I'm going to go first because I know Charles and Jamie probably have better ideas than I do. So I want to go first in case they steal mine. So I took a good look. I wish I could actually buy this domain, to be honest. I think it's a good one. So looking at the backlinks in the anchor text, we've got backlinks that are mostly to the homepage. Anchor text is mostly branded, which is everything you want in an age domain. I would actually go for the telehealth option because it was kind of a software technical type platform. I would definitely do as much as I could around telehealth. So in looking at the competition, there's not a ton of competition in the telehealth industry from a perspective of, talking about the different online opportunities or online telehealth options. Like I had no idea that you can do blood tests at home, which actually is a really good lead gen affiliate program with, I want to say it was like $50 per sign up. So there was just so many. There's one just for men issues that had a really good affiliate program. So there's all these different telehealth online options. There is a site called onlinedoctor.com, which is probably the biggest competitor. And then, ironically, they use a 301 redirect from an old age domain that points to them. So they have a ton of backlinks. But they're doing pretty well. But from an affiliate and ads, you can run regular ads if you wanted to. But some of the affiliate programs, onlinetherapy.com is $150 per conversion. You've got Lifeline Screening, which is $90 per booking. So I think there's so much opportunity for this one. And then you could do pets, you could do kids, you can do elderly. So you could break it down into subsections. And you should probably get, the medical people to, kind of give their thoughts on things. But, I would do it more as quote unquote a blog and make it personal and test out these different resources yourself. Do video walkthroughs of the dashboard, things like that. So that's where I would go with it. And this is a huge money making opportunity.
Who's next? Go on, Jamie.
Okay. Okay, so I saw it, and I know on the reference point on the site, it talks about being like a more blog authority affiliate style thing. I think affiliate could work, but it strikes me as like, the backstory is one of the bits I'm about to say I wanted to do, so I'm gonna hope that no one listens to it and does it. I'm gonna glide over the other three options and hope that no one notices. So I think there's big opportunities for like massive lead gen from a directory programmatic thing, just hits everything in like some industrial health, either in the UK or the US. I think the US is less like of a problem because like the NHS takes a lot of business because it's like national. I think there's a lot of options. Like you have two options. One, this site had logged in experience. Like it was a my.dossier or like app. Or something. So you'd have less, in my opinion, less friction having a logged in experience wherein like you could state some kind of medical data or like things to get recommendations on, like either it's just supplements and then that leads to like affiliates or lead gen or any kind of stuff like that, or surgery, non-surgical cosmetics, things like that would be like big opportunities if you can sell leads from there. Or other interesting things are just online stuff like you mentioned, which would have been like online therapy, anything else. But it's just such a like I saw that the government Canada thing is in there. I'm like, you can't get links like that anywhere else. This is like a very, very, very unique thing like that. That personally to me looks like a really good local directory option or lead gen within like either linking like either a logged in portion where you get custom things based on any data you're willing to supply, or a left field option being like industrial like medical equipment. But that's the one I've least researched.
Sounds cool.
Okay, cool. I like I agree with all those ideas, and I kind of play into the fact that it is a health insurance consortium. So it is previously a health insurance business related thing. So I would probably go down the route of looking at B2B health field and anything insurance related. Insurance is the biggest niche, period. for RPMs and everything like that, leads, everything. It's just crazy. Some of the CPCs and stuff on insurance is absolutely wild. As an example, I remember ranking like 10, 15 years ago for Angel Insurance or something like that, and I was just ranking for it with like an AdSense made for AdSense site, and we were getting like £40 or $40 a click on AdSense on our end, so that was pretty cool. But I would 100% use the history of the domain, the fact that it has got a lot of links from companies and governments and stuff, the fact that it was a consortium with BP America, AT&T, Walmart, all these massive companies, Intel, all of these huge companies and stuff, and it is 100% focused in that environment already, that it is kind of both in the insurance, medical, and business world, that you could quite easily, fortunately, it is. You could just expand it into business insurance in general because of the size of the domain, the fact that it was a consortium rather than necessarily being so focused on health and stuff. And that I would probably go down the route of looking at things like either lead gen or affiliate, probably lead gen, for B2B health. So like, or B2B health or B2B insurance. So if you look at things like business insurance, Texas, California, all of these kind of things, they're massive keywords, and all of them have got like a DR20 or a DR10 or something in the search somewhere. So it means that the competition levels aren't that insane, versus the lead commissions are massively insane when they're dealing with business insurance level stuff, right? Some of the trust me, the lowest commission end that you'll be dealing with is like $400 or $500 in terms of this kind of industry and things. That's still on the low end. And considering the price of domain, all that kind of stuff, the fact that it's already got content on it, the fact that it's already got relevance to that niche and stuff, it would probably be the highest ROI considering the competition levels are so low, right? Yeah.
Oh, cool. And let's see. There was something I wanted to ask about this domain, and I forgot it while listening to you guys. So yeah, I guess I gotta have a notebook next to me and a pencil and just write things
I should have a
down
notepad
as
open
they
the
come.
entire session.
Right, guys, really cool. There's a question from Jonathan Rice. I think it's more for me and for Jill. Jonathan Rice is asking, how do I find out more about Odys mentorship for help with my Odys domain? Well, Jonathan, you can just get in touch with us with our support in the chat section on the in the help section on the website, and just tell us what your concern is and that you'd like to speak to a mentor. Well, Jill in particular, for example, because you
The
brought it
best
us
mentor.
you you because you brought this up while listening to her. So this is the best solution, I think. There's also one question. There was one question in LinkedIn, yeah, which was 42 minutes ago, and I just noticed it from Muhammad Shoaib. I hope I pronounced it correctly. So the question was which thing? I'll try to rephrase it. Which thing increases domain's worth? Backlinks, traffic, DA, DR, or age?
A domain's worth.
Yeah. Well, from my point of view, as a part, like as particularly being a part of Odys Global, it's a combination of all things. I mean, it all adds up, it all stacks up, and you get the result. But I mean, it's just my general understanding of things, of how of what I see from the outer perspective, because I'm not the person dealing with domain valuations, let's say.
Domain value, probably number one thing is the brand ability and the level of the domain. So there's loads of one word, and even there's like what it's called, multiple number domains that are like massive in China and things like that and stuff, that go for like $20 million or something. So it's like 888.com or something like that.
Oh.
And it's just ridiculous. That obviously throws the market off to the complete deep end of that side, right? The second thing would probably be traffic, right? Because obviously if you have 10 million visitors to the domain, that's going to beat 10 million backlinks or 10 million years of age or anything, right? Because traffic beats everything. And then obviously you have history and links and stuff. There are some links that you just can't get anymore, that are really, really powerful and things. I think I don't know if is DMOS still even indexed and listed around anymore and things. I'm pretty sure it is. But someone the other day, no, is it not? They had like an archive or something of it, and someone the other day was saying, "Hey, can I get a DMOS link?" And I was like, Is this 2006? Like, what? Yeah, so I was super confused by that. But like stuff like that, that was just something that came to mind of a link that you couldn't get anymore, literally. But there's some links and stuff that you can't get anymore. Obviously, some domains that makes them a lot more valuable than others. And then there's some domains that are just really, really valuable in terms of like the trust that they bring and stuff like that. And if they're like closely related to other company names and things like that as well, they're also very valuable as well.
Sounds reasonable. Yeah, guys, what are your plans for the summer? I know Charles is hosting Search Birmingham event in Birmingham in particular, and he's also going to be speaking at SEO Estonia and Chiang Mai SEO as well, right? Are you speaking there?
No, so Matt's not doing any panels or any AMAs or anything this year. So so I said that I'm not doing any talks at conferences apart from my own events. So I think Matt was slightly annoyed, but I said no, unfortunately, to speaking at challenges. But I am going to be at World of Search in the Philippines in September as well. I'll do like an AMA thing there. And then there's another event that I've signed up for as well that I should know. But I'll check my calendar. I'll be around Europe though. Like I'm going to like France, Switzerland, Italy, a couple other places, Cyprus, Switzerland, I think, a couple other bits and pieces, everywhere. I'll be there wherever you are.
What about you guys, Jamie?
I'm gonna be at Charles's event. I'm looking forward to that. The groups came out and I was like, that's some crazy stuff right there. Like even beyond the affiliates and stuff. Like when I saw the agency ones, I was like, okay, that's like the coming together of like the titans in the game. So looking forward to that. Until then, nothing until October in New Orleans, which will be cool. Can't say everything yet, but that'll be cool. And then I don't really know. I don't really like plan this stuff. Like my focus is just I want to make sure that I can like make as much money in the next 6 months, and then I can deal with all the fun stuff. But I'm like I'm trying to be stoic and have no fun for the next 6 months. So like don't expect to see me around Europe or nothing.
So sticking to the ROI approach.
I'm just like bedroom caveman, like incel, whatever for like 6 months. Don't chat to me.
You, Jill?
I got nothing. I live in my little world here, and that's why so many people don't really know me, because I'm the one in the background. I'm not out there doing stuff. But I am going all in. So I did have a full-time job. I just went down to part-time, and I am going all in on. I have 3 sites right now that I am just going all in on, and that is all I'm doing this summer is working my butt off to get them to grow. 2 of them are actually lead gen. I'm big into the lead gen and not so much affiliate anymore. I find lead gen to actually be much easier. That's just me. And I make a whole lot more money with it. So just hunkering down and making it, just growing my babies.
Well, it's a good thing we shone some spotlight on you.
Yeah, it's you know what I always stay in the background. I've never been one to be out there. I'm a nerd. I do better in my corner in the dark, making clients happy. So I wish I could be more outgoing like Charles. Charles is out there everywhere, and the Matt Diggities of the world. I can't do it. I wish I could.
Well, there's an open invitation to the UK for you anyway to come to my event if you want to.
I appreciate it. And that's one thing that is frustrating. Like, I feel like all the good conferences, I do have a ticket to Chiang Mai. I'm deciding whether to go or not. But I'm like, all the good conferences are not here. So I don't know why you guys don't come to the US. I mean, I get it. We're a mess over here right now, but, we could use a good conference over here.
That's the next Charles event right there. The Charles. Isn't there a Birmingham in America? You could transplant it over and do that.
It's Alabama, Birmingham, Alabama. It's an exciting place.
Yeah, the capital of SEO.
All right. right, guys. Just tell everyone where they can uh, find you on the web. For those who don't know, because I know we're sharing audiences right now. Some of Jill's, Charles, and Jamie's audience predictions as well as Odys's are watching. So yeah, just tell everyone where they can reach out to you. Come on, don't be shy.
I'll go first. So my main website is the number 2. It's 2dogs.media. All my links are on there. Basically, if you type in Jill Karen SEO, you'll find me all over the place. So Twitter, LinkedIn, wherever else I am these days, Facebook. So I'm easy.
Yeah, likewise, just Google my name.
Yeah, there's not a lot of Charles. You should be pretty easy.
Yeah, I feel pretty good that I am literally the only person in the entire world with my name. It's pretty good, you know. That actually helps the Googleability of things, you know.
Just type in Jamie IF or Jamie_IF on Twitter. Also, you can go on increasing.com if you want to read the very sporadic and rare times that I get it together to publish. I'm trying to be more active, but there we go. For now, that's the site and newsletter there.
Yeah, cool. Seems like this is it. We've been talking for an hour, a little over an hour. It was a hell of a conversation. Enjoyed every minute of it. Hope you guys did too. Hope you listeners, the viewers out there did too. So yeah, like this video, share it to your friends, social media channels, social media pages, wherever. Spread the word, because there's been a lot of value discussed in this Odys Talks edition. If you want to talk to Jill about Odys domains, you can just reach out to her via our help feature on the website. Just let our account managers know that you want to talk to Jill. And yeah, subscribe to the channel to not miss out on the new episodes. Next week, we're having Chris Pantelli of Linkify, Annie Huang, who recently launched her own podcast, The Aspirant CMO, and Corey Gabur as well. So we're going to have another fun conversation next Wednesday, but it's going to be 1 hour later at 12:30 p.m. UTC. So make sure to be there and prepare your witty questions. All right. See ya.
Take care,
See ya.
guys.
Thanks for having us. Cheers.
Thank
Bye.
you so much.